But a lot of the larger cap stocks and even the more, I guess you would call high beta stocks that we normally trade, didn't necessarily um, trade strong today, for lack of a better way of putting it. A matter of fact, most of them didn't even trade above the open.
Yeah, it was energy that was strong today.
Right, right, right. Exactly. You
Energy
can
is
see that
why
over
we're
here.
up to where we are.
Yeah, and actually, Joan had called it out this morning. She was looking at levels in CVX and XOM in 91, 92, I think, in CVX. We'll take a look at that. But other than that, like some of these are positive, but like even Apple had an explosion out of the gate in the first half hour today and then ended up in the same spot in the afternoon.
But wouldn't you say energy is not up because of a level? Energy is up because oil got so strong on the Middle East crisis.
Yeah, and actually taking that into consideration, I am actually amazed that there isn't more fear in this market right now.
I totally am too. I bought some VIX calls thinking we'd have a lot of fear in this market, and I'm totally shocked that we are don't.
I mean, I could even wrap my head around, sideways with light volume or that kind of thing. But the fact that, we hit lows and then rally all the way back again, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Really interesting. I mean, you could have definitely made a political case, for lack of a better way of putting it, that we could have, kind of drifted until the bigger picture. Look, I don't even know if it'll ever clear itself up, but certainly uh, not hearing news every day about bombings and planes being taken out and who's threatening who. I mean,
Exactly.
the market doesn't seem to care. At least the spiders don't seem to care.
Right. But they're weighted pretty heavily with energy, so I think the energy has really helped the spiders.
So let's take a look at that just so we can give everybody context. So here's CVX. We actually made a pretty big comment about that this morning. We were looking, other than these 2 days when it actually came right back in, it's pretty much this has been the resistance for a while, just like 91.50. And you can see we actually took it out. We actually had a little bit of wicks up here with the level that we were talking about. So we had a good area based on the daily chart, which is another good case there for knowing your multiple time frames. 91.57. We got these topping wicks here pulled back, but then you get a really nice run when it holds the opening price, doesn't even come close to the
Yeah.
bottom down there. But then you get this afternoon drift, that's the drift that's killing a lot of traders. Where, like you had said this morning very well, taking the trade's not a problem. Holding the trade is the problem if you're finding yourself taking losses on these stocks drifting in the
Right.
afternoon.
Right, right, exactly. You've got to know when to get out.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a question that's a long. It's a question of do you pull the plug or do you sit through this and let the stock pull back 80 cents on you because you're stubborn.
Right, exactly.
So financials, again, we got to stick with them because they're going to drive the market one way or the other. I mean, when they perk up, the market is green across the board, and looked like we had some really phenomenal shorts this morning. It looked like these guys were following through, but they joined the market in the opposite direction today, and Goldman actually had a nice $3 move off the lows.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought there were some nice shorts setting up.
Yeah, I mean that's when I left the room. I was, Mastercard here. I actually logged off like right in this area here. I'm like, all right, inside, two dojis. VIX is taken off. This looked like a perfect follow through for the afternoon. I was kind of expecting drift, and then I look, pull it back up, and I'm like, whoa, yeah, it drifted, right? not,
Really.
not where I thought it was going to go, but it definitely drifted. So I think I don't know about you, but from a bigger picture perspective, I think you nailed it. The energy, absolutely, the weighting in the energy absolutely affected what the SPY did today, and obviously the financials bounced back. But I want to just take a quick look at that bigger picture again. Just zoom ahead to here. This is the end of day map in the S&P 500, and you can see a lot of large cap stocks, which are the larger boxes, believe it or not. They make it as simple as that, which I think is great. Not necessarily positive to coincide with what the S&P 500 did, and as a rally for like I can't think of the word as a rally for like a better way of putting it. So I think it's very important that you put the move higher in context. And I absolutely, Marion, if there's anything maybe we could have put on the cover was something about day trading, because this is absolutely a day trading market. I can't imagine aggressively or confidently building a longer term position right now unless you find a sector or industry that is just really clear.
Right, right. I definitely agree with you.
And even like we're even saying that as a day trade. that we're having a hard time getting a handle. And we just pointed out a couple of charts that were strong as an ox in the morning and pulled back. So I can't say anything surprised me today. I think that it's weird. You had to be really patient and disciplined, because you had to be patient to wait for good opportunities. And if they didn't pan out, you had to be ruthless with pulling the plug on them, because, again, the CVX, you can make the case for one of the strongest stocks today, and gave up over $1.25 actually into the close.
Right. I totally agree with you there. I think discipline is really, really important in this market.
Some other stocks that we were watching today that we liked on the long side. Again, given the doji type price action rallying all around that same 11 o'clock time. Look, my opinion has not changed from yesterday. I know we did a little bit better volume today. We still did not hit the 100 million share mark. We are now essentially closing at the same spot definitely almost 3 days in a row, almost 4 days in a row, 5 days actually, if you take this day here within 50 or 60 cents of the same spot. So my thesis for the market is we're not going to break out of this 210 to 212 range for the rest of the year. I think we're going to be in there. I think you got to read the tape from day to day. And if we're lucky as traders, maybe a sector or two starts to assert itself, and we can have some really good, clean, easier trades in that sector at the end of the year. But even the ones we were looking to trade on the short side today, out of these consolidations, found buyers. No other way to put it. And a good example of being in day trading mode there as well. Did not roll over. So you got to be nimble and not have opinions in this point. This is really a tape reader's market.
Yep, I agree. What do you think about us pulling back even further? Getting some kind of big pullback, getting some kind of a downtrend?
Well, we had made a comment this morning. We had a discussion about the accepting risk in exchange for how much profit potential is on the table. And in my opinion right now, there is a lot more potential to make money on the short side because where so many stocks are at or near resistance right now after a 5 or 6 week run to the upside. Now, that doesn't mean those stocks are short sales. However, stocks that have not rallied, and the fact that the market is at resistance, I could, and you got all this geopolitical stuff going on. Right. I could see a much larger move to the downside, which is even more of a reason to really think hard about whether or not you want to start to build a position on either side of the tape right now.
Yeah.
Look, we mentioned it this morning. We're having, we're doing every day we're doing our best, and we're finding a lot of opportunity every day. But by no stretch of the imagination has 2015 been, wow, I got to go start day trading, because it's been a tough year. I can't imagine what somebody who's new is going through this year, because there have been a lot of back and forth. There hasn't been a lot of consistency. It's been hard work to dig out the great trades, and they're there. I mean, I'm not saying they're not there. They're absolutely there. We're on them every single day, but you got to dig them out. This is not a market where you're like, you know what, I'm going to day trade on my Palm Pilot from the taxi cab because everything's going higher. This is not that market.
Exactly.
So I think that being said, I think that, again, you got to do a lot of research. I think that it's interesting that the financials caught a bid. Just finish up taking a look at those guys. They actually had a nice reversal. Not quite bullish engulfing candles, but certainly exciting that they got back above the open and had a nice 2 or 3 hour rally. Now it's a question of whether or not they open flat and push higher tomorrow. If not, again, I'm staying in day trading mode until I can see the market pick up, or even a sector pick up direction like TSO has done, or VLO.
Right.
Or Netflix for a few days. I mean, again, we're picking out pockets of opportunity, but until I can see a sector do this, where you get like 3 to 4 days in a row with higher highs, higher lows, or even to the short side, I'm staying in day trading mode. I am not even going close to looking to start building a position, because I think anything can happen. We don't have a bias right now.
Right, exactly.
So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We'll pick it up again in the morning. Hopefully, we'll get
good.
A little bit of directional trading with some good volume, and we'll finish good heading into Turkey Day.
That would be great. Okay,
right.
I'll see you in the morning.
Thanks, Marion. Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.